There we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Now you're live.
Yep. I'm just trying to see. There we go. To wait and see if anybody comes. Share. Invite. Copy to clipboard. Y'all watching this? Here we go. Whoops. Here we go. I'm trying to pin this. If anybody wants to join, they can. If not, that's okay too. We'll see. We'll just wait and see if anybody's in here. There we go. Oh, trying to clean now. Oh, Lexi.
Hi.
Saying hi.
Mhm.
Hi. How is everybody? Huh.
Mhm.
I gotta turn the air back on. It's hot. It's hot today. Turn it back on.
In Mama's garden, I help her plant stuff.
What'd you help plant?
I planted me some zinnias.
Zinnias, and you help Mom plant other stuff, huh?
Mhm.
What was it? Potatoes?
And
Plant potatoes?
and whatever they're called.
Okay, Chuck, that's fine.
And also,
Sunflowers?
yeah, and I planted light pink and dark pink zinnias.
And what have y'all been picking out of the garden that are orange that we have already took all out? We got to plant more. What were they orange and long? We give them to the rabbits, the little bitty ones.
Carrots.
Yes, carrots. Like planting seeds?
Mhm.
What? How is everybody? You need to brush. You need to brush your hair today. Oh my goodness, my kids are watching Sonic. What?
Sonic.
Get you some milk.
Mommy,
I'm trying to sweep my floor.
can I have some apple juice?
I'm about to make some natural wraps. You know, like you have saran wrap, but it's with fabric and beeswax.
Mhm.
So
Hi guys.
it's just sustainable. Want a little bit of chocolate? Oh,
Can I have some apple juice, Mommy?
hey, go get your cup. Wash it out. It's right here. I'm gonna do dishes. A little bit of chocolate.
I'm 11.
Hey, Eddie. So we're going to take fabric, and I got a brush. I gotta wash some fabric pieces. I'm gonna cut them out.
I
Look over there a minute.
11.
Here, I got one right here. Sorry, y'all. Hold on a minute. I got this on a bowl.
I turned 11
In April, you turned 11. The 25th, not the 1st.
I turned 11 on the 25th. 2020.
So I'm going to be making sustainable. I think they're biodegradable too. So beeswax is antibacterial. So you coat your fabric in beeswax and use it like a natural saran wrap. So when you warm up your hands and you put it around like cups and stuff, it's a natural wrap.
Can I help you?
Yes, you'll be helping. We're going to clean up the table though and finish the kitchen because we got to put it in the oven to warm up the beeswax.
What is
And we're thinking about selling them at these craft shows and stuff.
wax?
So basically, you're going to cut like circles. I'm going to cut some squares. And you can make baggies for like sandwiches. It's okay. Go drink it.
Hey guys.
Trying to clean off my counters. I got some zucchini. I need to make zucchini bread. Has anybody made zucchini bread? I shared a link pinned to the top. If anybody wants to join, you're more than welcome to join and talk. I got to put this bag up. But I got to finish fixing my ice maker here because our ice maker's broke. And this is going to be put away. But I'm going to make some of those wraps. I think it'd be a good thing to do because we do craft shows on the side, and my daughter makes dream catchers. Hey, Mrs. Lazy Days, Tinker's wife, Eddie, Chuck. Hey, LP. So I'm gonna try that, and I'm gonna try to make grape jelly. I need to make grape jelly too. I need to make a bunch of stuff. I've been I dehydrated a bunch of dill, and I had some calendula that I have dried. I got to put more in, and I got a scrap pile for the chickens because the kids didn't eat all the noodles last night, and I didn't put them right away because they got a little mushy on the bottom. So those are going to the chickens. But I need to go out in the garden too. Chocolate zucchini bread. Do you have a good recipe? I'm gonna look up one. Now, Levi wants one. I think it had pecans in it. He tried a lady made. So I need to do like 3 batches. It's a lot like, I guess, making banana bread, which I have bananas, but they're probably hiding on the table. I think he wants one with the pecans, I believe. I'm gonna try that. And chocolate now that Miss Patty said there's chocolate zucchini bread. It's pretty good. And it's maybe a way I could get vegetables in the kids. At least zucchini. They don't like zucchini. I got these dishes. I got a plant from the Homestead Festival. That video is about to go up. Pretty one. It's from this. No, I got to go back to what I was going to say. Her channel. I'm trying not to mess up because I always try to call it something else. Let's see. It is. Hey, try to call it Hey, It's a Happy Life. Hey, It's a Good Life. She had these at the sale and I bought one. I have a plant. I'm going to try to get some more plants so when I repaint the kitchen. I'm thinking about painting the walls white or doing something different in our kitchen. Hey, Lazy Days. Hey, Jesse. How you doing? I got to put my jam up in my pantry from your beautiful wife. Try some. Tomorrow we're going to make some homemade biscuits. I make mine with mayonnaise and milk. So 3 ingredients. Self-rising flour, mayonnaise, and milk. I need to do a video on that. They're really good. Got crumbs all over my floor for my children. I got a box of sweet potatoes that are older. I gotta go through. I planted some of them. Oh, it's my hubby. Hey, honey. Oh, I see you, Danny. Hold on. I see you. Okay. There we go. Sorry.
I'm down here like, hey.
Wait a minute. Wait, here I am. I'm like, that's the only thing. It's like, wait, there they are.
So you're doing what I need to be doing. I sent the kids off to be doing their chores, and I need to do my chores. But I'm on YouTube.
I hate to do chores when I'm on a live, but I can't not do nothing because if I don't do it, then it adds up.
I mean, I guess I could, but I don't think y'all want to see my kitchen. It's pretty rough. And I just went one day without doing the dishes, and see, what had happened was, as I was putting.
Hi again.
Hey.
Put that in the refrigerator.
I was putting pictures in a picture frame, and I guess I'm so used to having like cheap picture frames that I'm not used to having real glass in my picture frames. And I went to do like this over the side of it because it was a little dusty, and I just did like this to just kind of get the dust off, and it slipped my finger open, and I was like, ah. I was walking around.
I gotta be careful. Oh my gosh.
And then, of course, I was putting pictures in a picture frame. So I'm like, I was trying to get my hand to
get on the picture
because I didn't want to get blood on my pictures.
Oh, goodness.
It was all bad.
Yeah, my kitchen's a mess. I didn't do dishes last night, so I got to do dishes. I have a pot that did spaghetti.
But I got this for Christmas, and now it's got some pictures in it, but not all of them. that is super cute. But it's been sitting here since Christmas without pictures in it. Hold on,
That one's cool. That one's nice.
So I got some of our pictures in it, like that's us.
That's pretty.
Us.
Yeah.
That's us.
Adding as you go.
But yeah, and I've got So I'm trying to find. It's hard to find pictures of all of us.
That's why I try to tell people. I said, y'all, no matter what you look like, y'all need to take pictures with your family because by the time you're looking for some or something happens to a family member, they're not there.
Well, because I've got pictures of the kids, lots of pictures of the kids, and I've got pictures of me with the kids, but I don't have my Eric. He's not a picture guy. He don't do cameras of any sort. He don't like being online. He don't like being in pictures, period. But I try to tell him that is
one
permanent. You know, people, our kids, when they're going to show their kids one day, you know,
exactly,
or even just for themselves to refer to, they're going to want pictures from when, you know, and if you're not in any pictures, it almost gives the representation that you weren't there at all.
Yeah.
You know, but you were, you know, so that why not be in the picture if you were there, you know? Like,
yeah.
I don't know.
I tell people because the year my oldest died, she died in October 2012, and I was going back through pictures. I'm like, I didn't have but one picture of me and her that year, and it was blurry. I did find an app that could fix it, but we didn't do family pictures that year like I do photography myself, but I usually do like once a year. I tell people you need them every 6 months or more because you don't know what's going to happen. And like I had that one picture, and then we just brought a baby home before she passed away. So my baby was 5, the little bitty one. He was 5 weeks old. So I didn't do family pictures of all my 7, and I that breaks my heart. I have one blurry picture of me sitting down when we came home from the hospital. I mean, at least I have that, but it's not clear. I wish I had been like, okay, let's go outside, take a quick family picture. I try to tell people, you have to capture every moment because you don't know the value of a moment till it becomes a memory.
Right.
And yeah.
I used to do scrapbooking and things like that when I was younger, and seeing all the transition and the whirlpool of life. I lost all of my belongings a couple of times over. So now I'm really like my pictures, I cling on to them. Hush. Look, Jesse said, "Are you retired?" Because I'm not doing anything. Hush.
we're not retired. We're just we work from home.
That's right. That is right. Actually, well, the most of my job is homeschooling my daughter, and she's out of school. She finished early, actually. Like now, I think everybody's out of school, but she finished 2 weeks before school was supposed to get out. So,
yeah, we're gonna do through the summer because my little girl and my younger ones are behind a little bit. My son's behind on like just English. He's bad at English. But my little girl took a while to read, especially after the trauma of losing her sister. She failed that year before we lost her, and she shut down for a whole year, like mentally.
yeah.
And but she's catching up. She does well with math and everything, and colors and shapes. But like big words, I got to get better with her reading like larger words instead of like just short, like black, white, red, green, and that like because she's like and I have to help her out. But even though she's 11, there's some words she has trouble with. She's done a lot better, but I didn't push it on her because she shut down. But I said I could catch her up pretty quick once it finally clicks in her brain, which it has this last year.
Well, Emma does really well. I'm really proud of her, and I would homeschool Eli too if I had him all the time. But we don't do. You do the actual homeschooling where you have to teach the curriculum and stuff like that, don't you?
I just do like basics. I don't buy a Becca, which I probably will eventually. I might do that with the teenagers of the last 2 years of high school. But I just teach basics. For instance, Mackenzie's great with everything. She just don't like division and geometry and stuff. But I just teach the basics, and we do words. And I need to do more like, when you're reading a book, they can write about the book, paragraph type English stuff. But I don't.
Well, I just don't know that I could teach like that because there's some stuff.
Unschool. I guess you kind of call it unschooling, but not really.
There's some stuff in 5th grade that I had to help Emma with math. I had to look it up to be able to help her. She was doing algebra in 5th grade now. So I'm like, and then the way they teach it is so different from when I even learned it. So I'm like,
Yes, exactly.
I just went to college a few years ago and I don't remember any of this. Like,
My mom takes like they have some books that has math, and then it has like geography and basic like maps and things and comprehension. And my older ones do a lot more of that. Like it's like a 3 subject book. And there's some things I have to look back on because I can't remember how to do it. But I teach them more of the basics first, basic times tables, comprehension. And then I filter in a little bit harder things and teach them art.
yeah.
And
See,
my son learns from his daddy. He learns to work off of tractors and how to put things together. And so
life skills, those are definitely, and trades. That's a lost thing now.
yeah, it's people don't. I mean, they don't teach it in school no more. But some kids don't want to go to college and can't comprehend, just all that school, and a trade is equally as important as college.
Right. And that's what I really want to teach my daughter is that, if you want to go to college, if there's a certain thing that okay, this is what I want to do, and you can't achieve that goal without going to college, then yes, you need to prepare yourself for that. But there are other ways to make a living, so to speak, that you don't have to go to college. Like, I'm not trying to push that that's the ultimate goal. You have to get to college, because first of all, that's a lot of pressure. And second of all, I want her to understand. I want her to understand the basics. What you need to do is have shelter. What you need to do is eat. These are the things you need.
Life skills. That's
Right.
what's not taught anymore. Sewing and other things. Yeah.
And so, and our government kind of pushes us towards, this 9 to 5, what your career label is what classifies what type of person you are. But I'm trying to teach her that if she wants to go for big, that's fine. That's great. You can do that.
Like veterinarian school. Yeah.
Right.
Like that.
If you want to do that, that's fine. But if you do just want to live, instead of living to work, like working to live, then these are options as well, and so I just don't want her because for a long time, I still struggle with that, defining myself by what I've achieved career wise, and feeling down on myself because I haven't, I feel like a real contributing member of society or whatever.
What your biggest achievement is those kids, teaching them the right way in the eyes of the Lord and how to take care of themselves.
Yes.
That's your biggest achievement. And that's what I have to tell people. Well, why don't you just go to work? At first I worked when I was pregnant with my first, which was our oldest. I worked up till like the last 2 weeks. And then you have to I worked as a special needs assistant. I made $800 a month. I was trained, certified, and the school would, if your children weren't there, they would make you substitute. So they save money by making you substitute. But technically, I didn't get paid enough to do what I did, and it's sad. In some professions like teachers, even the good teachers, I know you got great teachers everywhere. It's sad that they're not valued more like a doctor, because in a way it's kind of like a doctor. Your children are being taught, but it's just hard to say. And I told my kids, I said, I know y'all might want the nice house, and my kids want property, but you got to have to I try to teach them to save money. That's the main thing.
Right.
And kids that are grown up to go into college and they get to do what they need to do is fine, and get their scholarship. I said that'd be good if you get a scholarship and so on, but it's hard sometimes on kids.
Yeah, but if you have to take out a loan that you're going to be paying on for the rest of your life,
like I got $500 in school. Why? That's your home that you could have had for the 10 years right there.
And then that's on a whim, hoping that you get a job with the degree that you got.
And
You
then with
know,
all
I
the
mean,
regulations they have now, you're like, oh, well, I don't want to do this. Don't sacrifice yourself for a career that, you know, you're going to be sacrificing your beliefs and everything too.
right, exactly. So,
Yeah, it's
but
chosen God's way. I try my best.
as far as not working, I mean, I went to school for early childhood development. I substitute taught for a little while. I mean, I've done a lot of things. I went in the military. I mean, I know it sounds crazy that I'm 31 years old and I've done all these things. I've worked in warehouses. I've done men's work, you know, and things. I mean, I've done a lot of things, and I've worked at, you know, restaurants, gas stations, all the things, and you
When you
know,
needed to, yeah.
it's just not, you know, that's not what defines you. And so it took me a long while to realize that. And I too struggle with things that I'm still dealing with. Um, like you said, the loss of a child. I kind of lost a child in a sense, but not really. You know, not. I don't know. It's hard to explain.
Was
Um,
it from a previous relationship kind of thing?
well, no.
You
But
don't have to
the
explain
thing
it.
about my situation is I'm not really at liberty to talk about it because it
I
involves other
understand.
people.
Yeah.
So, and that's another thing is I can't really get it off my chest and really talk about it much because it involves other people. So I can't talk about it. The one time I did, I got addressed. So,
That's sad.
and I felt like I was just telling my
Get
testimony,
my
you know,
chart.
that's part of what I've been through. Um, so it's hard. Every time somebody asks me how
Get my
many
chart
kids I
down,
have or anything like that, you know, I'm like, well, you know, because anywho, but
I don't understand. You still that your heart still lies with that person.
and um well, yeah, it's my child. I
Yeah.
carried him for 9 months, and, you know, I mean, whether I've raised him or not, you know, I will forever have a connection with that
Yes.
child, and I'm
Exactly.
gonna always forever be wondering, "What is he doing right now?" You know, "What kinda little person is he?" And, you know, "What all am I missing?" But, so
Totally
it's
understand.
But so, with going through all that, my Eric was just like, you know, I'm working, I've got a decent job, you know, he's also a military veteran, and so he pulls income from that. So to answer Jesse's question, no, I kind of am retired, I guess, because moral to the story
Done it
is,
all.
you know, um, believe it or not, I've even got some social issues. I don't know. I don't do really like, I go out to like Walmart and like to pay bills and I come home. That's it. Like,
I'm the same way.
I try not to be out in a boot as much as possible. Like, I'm not the kind of person to go, even though I'm on here online. I know it's weird, but I'm not the kind of person to go where there's a crowd of people and hang out and stuff like that. I'm not. I get the anxiety. I'm like, there's so much going on. I'm like super attention to
And
detail.
is yours too because they don't really have any interest in what you have interest in as well.
Right. Yeah.
It's like a different. It's like a different world in a way.
Yeah,
People.
it's like that's what my sister says. Like, you live under a rock, you know, because like I do not. I feel like there's no like-minded people out there. I like when I go out into society, I'm like, what is wrong with these people? You know, I'm like, so instead of trying to be me against the world, I just stay at home. um,
My husband's the same way. He'd rather be at home with his family than out and about, hanging out,
right.
trying to be someone he's not.
Yeah, and Eric would rather be at home doing projects, being in the garden, just being around here, but somebody's got to pay the bills. And so hey,
Hold on one second. I got to comb my hair.
okay, me too.
This is
Hey,
Danielle had to get all
my
prettied up
girl.
for you. I got to get my hair all prettied up too.
Mine's all curly and out of whack
I
here.
could not jump on the live when Nick was there. Yeah, it was way too much estrogen on that panel, so I had
Oh,
something to do.
whatever.
I said I better wait till Jerusha
Police in the
goes up.
background. What?
I had to wait till Jerusha goes up so I have at least a chance.
No, I said exactly whatever.
Oh no, that's what I heard.
Yeah,
Well, now see y'all done shamed her. Now she's over there getting boxes together for sending out some more jams and jellies.
Oh man, I haven't shamed her. I said she was the bomb.
You done shamed her.
No, 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 it
You,
was Chuck.
well, Chuck, but then you come out here showing these half-eaten bottles like, oh my God, there she's going to the poorhouse now.
I just put mine in the fridge. Once my son gets a hold of it, it's gonna be gone in 2 days.
Did you see that, Lisa? How much they got into it already? I say they like I didn't have any part in it, but
No, I know. It's. I think the mango is one of my favorites.
oh man, it's so good.
Oh,
The strawberry pineapple is good too.
You ought to try that prickly pear she made. That prickly pear, oh my goodness.
Yeah, I
And
tried it. You know.
Yeah.
Did you
I
use
told Eric.
canned pineapple or did you use fresh pineapple?
I cut the pineapple and used fresh.
Fresh.
Okay, thank you. I've
Well-
been meaning to look. I bought canned pineapple because I've seen people do it with canned pineapple, but
But think about this: when you use the canned pineapple, it has typically sugar added.
sugar, yeah,
Yeah, because you're already going to add sugar for the recipe.
yeah, a ton of sugar, yeah.
Right, but I think if you could probably go ahead and rinse it really well and get all that sugar off. I don't see why you couldn't still use it because you're going to mash it anyway.
I've seen a few different recipes, but I'm thinking I'm going to use fresh. I'm probably going to take that canned pineapple and dehydrate it for my son because he loves dehydrated pineapple.
Well, that would be
Yeah.
good. Or if you had a freeze dryer, you could freeze dry it.
Don't have one of those yet. That's the
Yeah,
next
neither do
investment
we.
for
We
us.
use the cheeses dehydrator all the time. And if you
I
don't have a dehydrator, now, Danny, I don't know how far away from town you live, but if you don't have a dehydrator, we found ours at the DAV, which is the Disabled Veterans, and it was practically brand new, and we got it for like $30. And they run anywhere from 80 to 100 and something, right? They're expensive.
Yeah, the
I don't
one
know
we
how
got
fancy
was like
mine is,
150.
but I did get one. So now I just got to figure out how to work it.
Yeah,
Google.
you plug.
I mean, if you don't have a book for it, Google.
No, you plug it in the wall and you push the on button. That's it.
How do you deal with this man?
If you want to dehydrate like dill and herbs, they have this little mesh netting you want to put in. You might have to get something like that. Or if you do fruit, I want to do fruit like roll ups.
Roll up, yeah.
Yeah, I've seen some with the full tray, like a solid tray, but mine is just like a plastic. You know, it's round and it has plastic.
Yeah, ours is the same way.
Ears.
So
Mine is metal. I went ahead and my mom she had the one from like 19. It's probably as old as me, and it started melting on the bottom tray. I said, "Oh, I better purchase." I finally purchased one with stainless steel racks.
Yeah, well, that's an Excalibur. We want to get an Excalibur.
I didn't get that one. I bought the one that everybody compared. It's a Kasori versus the Excalibur, and everybody really liked the Kasori.
No, the Kasori is one of the best. Yes, it is. Yeah, but that's what I was talking about. The Excalibur is it's like the Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
I'm not saying buy that one, but that style, the square ones.
It was a little bit out of my price range, so I went halfway.
No, the Kasoris are highly rated though.
Yeah, I like it, and it's got the metal fan too. Yeah,
this is the one we got for $30. Actually, probably less than that with my discount.
But it only takes one temperature. So what I did is I cut parchment paper to fit, like tomatoes and stuff, and that worked.
And then once they dry it out, she'll ground down the tomatoes to make powder. You know, tomato powder.
Oh, I bought me a beef jerky little thing that you would squeeze the meat out to make beef jerky. My husband and my son, they could do that on those.
Yes. Yeah, and it's worked so far.
So, Danny, I wanted to ask you were in the military. Were you Army, Marines, Navy?
Air Force.
Air Force. I figured it'd be the office ones. Okay. Those are the.
You figured I'd be in the chair force since that's where I'm at most of the time.
Chair force, yeah.
I love to meet her one day.
But I was
excited.
You
know that the Army is just an extension of the Air Force.
Right? Hold up now. The Army was first. Now, so
because it was the Army Air Force.
It was Army Air Corps. But the Army, we were stationed on an Air Force base, and we were military. We had PT. We had we had to do all the military stuff. And the Air Force guys, they didn't blouse their boots. They didn't iron their uniform. They went to work like a 9 to 5. It's like, oh my God. Why didn't I join the Air Force?
I was security forces, so not so much.
Yeah. Y'all a little bit more on the, if you will, front lines. Yeah, more visible.
Just more like, I had to check IDs and stuff,
That's where I met this one when I was in the military.
Oh,
awesome.
I wasn't in the military.
You weren't. You met at the location where he was in the military.
In Germany.
Oh, nice. My dad went there. He brought me back a doll.
My brother was in the service.
Oh, that's cool.
I think every man in my family has been in the service. So
my grandfather was in World War II. And then my nephew enlisted. He wasn't in any a battle or anything or war. He was stationed in Japan for like 3 years.
Yeah. I was in the Cold War. I was during the 80s. I was, but no, I did go to Germany, and that's where, like I said, that's where I met Lisa, and she was supposed to be over there 2 weeks. She was over there 7 months.
Isn't that weird how that worked out? You know, how y'all met in another country. You know how God is. That amazes me.
Yeah, and I'm from Oregon.
I had to go all the way to Germany. Just to meet
how did that happen?
Isn't that amazing? That amazes me.
Well, as I say, my mom and dad and I went over for my brother's wedding. He was married to a German national, and then they let me stay. So I got to stay for 7 months total. Jesse and I met through my brother, through their first weekend back to work.
Oh, wow.
My sister-in-law and I walked in and asked for some money from my brother, and we went to a German festival.
Oh, look.
Oh,
that's my daddy. He retired Master Sergeant.
Wow.
Oh.
That's me back in.
And that's Master Sergeant Air Force.
Yeah.
Wow. That's amazing.
That's you right, Mr.
Yep. That's me, mean mugging and chubby face.
Was that out of boot camp?
That was when I graduated basic training. Yes, sir.
Basic training. Okay. Cool.
Wow, daddy right there.
Now he retired, right?
Yes.
Or is he okay?
And he continued to work for the government.
Yeah, so he was a GS worker then.
Yes.
Yeah. There's a lot of people that do that.
You can take my screen away now.
Okay. I was waiting on you. I didn't know if you were showing something else.
Now, yeah, my family, I'm the only one that's been to the military in my whole family. So
I'm still learning the share screen stuff myself.
Yeah.
But yeah, from Sweet Home, Alabama.
My dad, my grandfather was stationed in Germany.
Now that was in Texas. That was at Lackland Air Force Base.
So that was near San Antonio.
Yeah, San Antonio.
Mm-hmm.
Where have you been, Jesse? Have you been? I mean, Danny, have you been? You've been to Texas? Have you been to other Air Force bases? No.
No. The only reason I've been to other Air Force bases is because of my dad. I've been to an Ellis Air Force Base and
down here, something called Keesler Air Force Base. They practice over a house all the time.
Yeah, that's why I say that you know, the issues with dealing with not, you know, because I've started a lot of things and not really followed through with a lot of things, and so that's what I meant as far as, you know, having a hard time with coping with feeling successful, you know. And then I had to realize that, you know, it's okay. You can't do anything about what's done, and you know, and you don't have to, you know, you don't have to limit your self-worth to, you know, your accomplishments as far as your career. So
I had an art scholarship. I went my first year. I dropped out of one class because I wasn't doing well. But I had an art scholarship. I did the whole year. So in high school, I submitted art projects and then I got a full ride, except for books. So I went to school for art and I was going to go back. My dad wanted me to go back. I was going to do photography and graphic design. But I wound up asking if we have a hard family life. Like my dad has his kids from his first marriage. My mom has some for her first marriage. They had me. And, my brother has caused a lot of issues on my mom's side. So, as a young girl, I guess it was becoming a woman. I asked my dad, can I go ahead and marry my husband that I have now, even though I married young, right before my 20th birthday. He says, as long as you finish college. I said, I'm going to do my best, Daddy. But I never finished college. I do feel like I failed at that. But he has told me, he said, even though I wanted you to finish college, he said, you come way far more than what I've ever expected. And I really needed that from him because I felt like I failed my daddy too. You know, you feel like that.
Yeah,
too.
that's what it felt like whenever the Air Force didn't go like I thought it would. You know, I was like, I failed, you know, because he like retired master sergeant, and that's what I was kind of trying to do, was go in my daddy's shoes. But my daddy's a really smart man.
But sometimes that's not God's plans, and that's what I had to come into terms with. Like, God planned this, and I'm fortunate to have a really good husband. Even though we married so young, we're still together, and we've gone through a lot together. So, but I wound up doing photography, and I wound up learning graphic design on my own. So
That's
a little
great.
later, but it
The
worked.
Lord knew what He was doing, because I still got a son out of the deal.
And that's your biggest. Don't ever feel bad because you see them two right there.
Yeah.
That's God's way of saying, "Hey, this is what I had planned for you."
Even
Right?
though he's a man child, stand up, Eli. I want him to see how big
My
you are.
son's Levi.
This is a 12-year-old here. He just turned 12 last month. Well, April. He just
Within the
turned
next
12
year,
in
he's going to
April.
shoot up a foot.
And he's about as tall as me. Let me show you.
Yep, he's going to surpass you in a couple of months.
Yeah,
He's
a couple of weeks.
12.
No, a couple of weeks. He keeps eating that jelly like he's
Look at the
eating it.
shoulders on this boy. He's gonna be like a linebacker or something.
But you never know. God might have a plan. Okay, your son or someone down his line might be the master sergeant later, and that's how God planned it.
Yeah. Well, as much of the Call of Duty and shooting games they play, they ought to be a marksman.
Yeah.
Really.
For real, right?
But
No, but you got to use your experience, Danny, especially the one in the military, as a stepping stone for life. There's lots of things that we do that we wonder, what good was it?
right.
And you won't know until later. Oh, you know what? I'm
All right.
so glad I was in the
And
military.
see, I was so young. And I was so rebellious. I just did not want that structure. I just did not want those rules and that. And now that's everything that I crave. Now I want that so badly. And when I was younger, and I get emotional talking about it, because I refused it so hard, that and now I'm like, why? I just want to kick myself in the face sometimes, because I'm just like, I could not have to worry about health insurance or my child's education and
But
stuff
isn't
like
it,
that. And
The thing is, like, even if you say you kept going, you might not had the same plan. You might not have met your husband at that time. It could have been a whole nother, reroute. And
Yeah.
God's like, no, you don't, try not to beat yourself. I beat myself.
Yeah, I mean, you never know. I could have been deployed and not come home. So
Yeah, that
Right.
too.
Yeah.
See,
and
God's
look at the irony. The irony was you didn't want to have any structure in your life, and you joined one of the organizations that had the most structure.
yeah, and I know, and I don't know why I fought against it so hard, but anywho, so I obviously went through a lot after that.
Yeah. So
And,
obviously you needed it. I needed it. When I went in the
Yeah.
service, my mom and dad, they signed me I wasn't even 18. At 17, they signed a waiver to let me go at 18.
wow.
So they were
And
willing,
he didn't know
and I
anything
didn't know
about it.
nothing about it.
Oh
yeah,
my.
that's oh wow.
I walked in the door to the house, and there was this guy in uniform sitting in there talking to mom and dad at the table, and I said, "What's going?" And he said, "Well, they had some kind of deal at the school," and I went up there and I talked to the guy. Well, he ended up going to my house, talking to mom and dad, saying Jesse wants to join the military. What?
The recruiters will get you, man.
I'm telling
Yeah.
you. So he suckered me into that. But I said, all right, I don't mind. I was able to get out of the house at 18. We got
Well, I
married.
signed myself up. By the time I signed myself up senior year to go, as soon as I graduated high school. So I didn't even get it. And then I was right there in the middle of a very adult world and didn't know nothing from Shinola. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, when I washed my clothes for the first time, I used fabric softener for laundry detergent. I mean, I had no idea what what I was doing.
Well,
And I was supposed
that's
to be-
mama's fault. That's mama's fault.
No. But I just, and now I'm the exact opposite. Like, I was just a feather in the wind going along to get along then. And now I have all this attention to detail and really nothing to do with it. So it's almost
Surreal.
it's something else. I'm like, I should be using this for something, besides just being like, "Rah, my kids," But
You're
it's
all
all
right.
right.
God has different plans. That's what we kind of have to. I tell people, on our end when we lost our daughter, I said, you have to realize when God says no. Like when she was born, she had fluid in her lungs, and I was told later that actually she had her heart stopped then, and I didn't know that till later. And I'm like, I prayed for God to save her life then. I had her for 12 years, and then I prayed again. God just saved her in a different way. God just said no, not to be here. He's going to take her to a different home. People just don't. I had to come into grips where, it's not my fault. I couldn't save her. God saved her in a different way. When God says no, it's just different plans He has for you. So
Yeah,
it's hard. It's hard to grasp, but people. I try to tell people, well, I don't know what's going wrong, and I've done wrong. I don't understand why I've turned out this way. I said, the good thing is you realize what you've done wrong. I said, but learn what God's trying to show you in a different way.
and that's even hard too.
Yeah, it is. It's hard to grasp. Like I do, you do have your why moments. Lexi,
Uh,
you
a
have to
lot.
That's so funny.
Yeah. Why?
But speaking of my mama, we so that's why I try to focus and I take this time for granted and like just really take advantage of this, as I should say, with homeschooling her and things like that, and being able to be around the kids a lot. I try to teach them, like, 'cause what we were talking about, how I was just, it was like, I had more of a mama that was like, step aside, I'll get it done, and so when I got when it was time for me to be, an adult, I was just pretty much out there in an adult world thinking I was grown but having no idea, so I try to prepare them as much as possible
I need to put those
just
cups
with
up.
the basics, being able to know how to feed yourself and how to wash your own clothes and how to, which I'm not bad mouthing my mama. I love my mama, but she was more concerned with the people aspect of things, being involved in things. I was in dance, I was in track, I did a little bit of softball and everything there was to do. I was in the sports and I was in the she wanted me to be involved in things. And so I was involved all right, but it didn't really do much for my, person. So
Growth.
it
Yeah.
didn't prepare me for life
Being
skills
on your own. Yeah.
Right.
for being on my own. What it did was make me codependent on other people and be too worried about what other people thought of me, and and my standing with other people being my self-worth, and that's not the case, so because those people are going to be gone and you're going to be left to be on your own, and then what? So that's what I'm really trying to focus on, is like y'all said, taking advantage of the blessings that I have, and just being grateful for what I have. And I try not to think about why. That's a wise person once told me that's the two most dangerous um um questions to ask is why, why, and why, and
How come? Why?
yeah, why, and maybe now I'm quoting somebody and I can't even remember what they said. Why and what, I think. No, I know why is definitely one of them. And
Why?
now I'm having another brain fart, but
Well,
it's okay.
yeah. So
But,
Chris from Chris and Larry has a good point. She says God's time, not our time.
right.
Which you never know when
Yeah, you're
things
never gonna
you
understand it.
never understand it. I mean,
You can
if we
question it for the rest of your
I
life.
love
Like
that.
that
Black
good
sheep are
times.
still
Yeah,
in God's flock. I love that. I
I
need a
love this. The
t-shirt.
black sheep are still in God's flock. Yeah.
So now I need two shirts.
yeah. So,
Black sheep are still in God's flock, and Lisa's jam will make you jelly.
That's a
That's
good
right.
one. No, that one needs to go to
Yeah.
Chuck.
There's a couple of brown sheep in this flock as well.
Not me. No.
Uh-oh, here he comes. Mom, can I have some of that jelly?
Yes. Well, that's the same thing with my mom. And like I said, I'm not talking down to her. My mom, before she met my stepdad, which she had my dad's support, but just from really far away, he sent financial support, but as far as feeding us and things of that nature, and having to cook and do like that. My mama, most of the time growing up, she had 3 jobs, and not much time, and the time she did have at home, she was trying to get everything done and these things. And really, I could have helped her a lot more, and I should have, but instead of taking the time to be like, these are the things that are expected of you, she would just come home and be like, I got to do this. I got to do that. I gotta,
Wait, like that's like me. If I wait too long, I do it myself. But I do make them, I have to learn to make them to do more.
Right. That's what I've been trying to work on myself.
But it's just sometimes if I have to do it, and it's mine stems from my mama. She did stuff, but she didn't do a lot. And my dad worked 3 jobs, and I realized how hard he had it. I'd wash his clothes. I'd have the yard cut at 10 years old because he didn't have time to do it. I realized how much he suffered trying to provide because he'd have to pay child support. Then he tried to provide for our family and make sure I had a good Christmas and good birthdays. And I guess that's why I learned how to treat a man really well too, because I realized how good of a man my daddy was and how my mama didn't really treat him exactly the way they should have treated each other. And I learned different. So, and I was just blessed. I think God just blessed me.
Woohoo! We just hit 700. Thank you, everybody.
Yay.
But
Thank you, Chris, for finally signing up.
This is our therapy session, right, Danny?
300 to go.
Yeah.
1,000
Well, I appreciate this.
We need this because we hold it in, don't we?
Yeah, we do.
And you don't have nobody to talk to, and it's like in today's world, even your friends don't understand sometimes. And when you find somebody that does, it's so nice to just listen. At least someone.
What friends? You guys are my friends.
I thought you said you weren't very social.
That's what I said. Y'all are my friends.
Look, Lazy Days, you're at 700.
I know. That's what I was just saying. Thank
That's awesome.
God everybody joined it.
That's what we were celebrating about.
Gave me that 700.
That's awesome. I just saw it. I know you said it. I was like, yay, look at it.
Chris said, I'm signed up on 2 channels.
My husband's phone's at work, or I would done his to see if he was signed up.
How do you like that new
Eddie?
That new thing I got
You have
there.
the community. Keep popping in on chats, Eddie.
I like that Danny Days Homestead. It'd look a lot better if it said Danny Days Ahead, but that's all right.
Everybody will
I agree. I took a poll.
So
nobody wanted me to change it. They said algorithms and all that. Blah, blah, blah. So
a real life friend.
You keep it what it is. You keep it what it is.
We got to keep algorithm, going.
I have friends that follow me on here, but I made the bestest friend. Like my daughter was my best friend, but then I met a lady, but she's in Canada, which stinks because I can't see her because she can't travel because of the stipulations there. But like as a good time, Jen was saying, I made some really good friends with this community, better friends than I've really had anywhere.
Yeah, and I think it's harder for the Canadians to come here than it is for the Americans.
It is. They won't let them travel unless
you just have to have the, hook.
You have to do this and have that at the same time just to travel.
Speaking of friends, in 8 minutes we need to go over to
Jen's
premiere.
That's right.
Good times. Yeah, it's
She's having a premiere.
Yeah. See, we gotta put her link up.
And I hope it's of her playing the guitar.
And I'm not. Well, if you haven't checked out her Baker Creek video, go out there and check her Baker Creek. That's the seed company where you get the seeds. She actually meant the actual Clyde. That Clyde calendar or Clyde. Yeah. She actually meant the
awesome. I want to watch that one.
Yeah, go check out her. That was an excellent video she put out. And I love her sense of humor.
33. Wow.
It's good times ahead with Jen. She's going live, right?
Yeah,
Jen says she always says and ranch and picks on me and ranch dip because when she said and ranch the first time I was like, you mean dip? There ain't no ranch here except for ranch dressing.
I make a good ranch. It's a dip or a dressing. I'm picking.
Hey, you know what? Speaking of that, I use that ranch dip powder, the powder that you get to make into the Hidden Valley powder. I use that to season meat with. Like when I eat pork, the little bit that I do eat pork chops, I'll put that ranch seasoning on it, and it's really good. To use as a seasoning.
You can make your own, which isn't hard to make your own because on my video, I have a video where you make your own ranch.
Okay. I was going to say Leanne at Mennonite Farmhouse has one too.
Yeah, I have one where, and yes, I hadn't found hers yet, but it's just got simple seasonings. You can just throw those seasonings in your meat, and it'll be the same thing, just about a little
I'm
bit
gonna learn
healthier.
today.
It's
You'd
a
be
little
surprised.
healthier because it
you
doesn't
could-
have that MSG in it like the.
You'd be surprised what a can of Rotel will do as well.
Yes.
I like cooking with Rotel.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a smart man, but I know what good meat is. Mm-hmm.
But I know good food when I see it.
I was just a running. Anyway, yeah, we need to go
we have
and
to
check
go
out
over there. Let's see. I'm
her video here in a second.
trying to
So,
get it good.
thank you, Drusha, for everything and letting me come
Yes.
on. Thank you for whoever was helping me get to 700. We really appreciate it.
Congratulations, Jesse.
Jen.
Three more
300.
hundred, and we're gonna have the most awesome giveaway you guys ever seen.
I'm about to type in her
Are you
link.
giving away yourself, Jesse?
I already said. I don't know about that. Well, we done set the bar once. Now just wait till the next
Yeah,
one.
I was subscribed to her. Now I'm not. Now I am.
Or are you giving away Lisa?
I'm
No.
good.
Probably all my
We're
jams.
gonna be giving away all the jam. No.
I'm gonna put
Y'all
her
are
on
awesome.
So
Don't cry when y'all read my letter. Look, I went to write you a little note to put in y'all's box, and then it ended up being a letter. I'm sorry.
We didn't understand what it meant. So I probably will. I'll probably cry. Jesse won't.
But y'all really do mean a lot to me, and I appreciate y'all.
Yeah.
Oh.
Everybody we meet, it's been such a blessing.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think I
Yes.
met you when you had less than 50. I think 50 subs or 20. I can't remember. You were just now getting started. I remember.
Since
I
the
don't know
beginning.
how I got into this little niche. I think it might have been Chuck, but I don't remember. It's like, oh, come here. I'm like, okay.
No, I fell in love with Danny from the first video I saw her. She was such a go-getter. She was trying so hard. I said, man, her work ethic was what made me want to subscribe. I loved it.
Well, I appreciate it.
That's
She's
a
like
blessing.
a daughter.
Yeah, like a daughter.
We're old enough to be your parents.
The daughter we never had.
I have
Just to
some
clarify,
YouTubers like that. We could be your parents. We love
I
you.
really almost got you a Father's Day present. I know that sounds dumb. I was like, I saw some that said the man, the myth, the legend, but they said dad on them. I was like, I need one that says mod father. Where are those? It's like, I don't want to get him something that says dad. That might be a little too much.
That's a moniker that was created by Craig from Craig's Cabin over in the UK. And he created that one day. I was on Hoops' live and I was moderating for him. And he's, man, this guy's flying. He's going. He's the mod father of the moderators.
Well, I might just have to custom make you something.
And it stuck.
Because his favorite movie is The Godfather.
My favorite is The Godfather. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's an oldie.
Yeah.
Say hello to my little friend. The keyboard.
Oh, that sounds Scarface.
Yeah, but that's still.
Oh yeah.
It's still.
Yeah, same guy.
Yeah. All right. We'll let you guys go.
See y'all. I'm going to post her link.
We'll see y'all over there. Bye.
All right.
Bye. Here you go. All right, y'all.
Well, how much do I owe you for this hour session, Jerusha?
Oh, no, we'll come back again next week. Oh, honey.
All right.
She got his belly. It's all
Bless it.
It's all right.
I'm gonna watch this premiere, and then I have got to get some stuff done. So seriously.
Oh, it's Bare Bones that's going live at 11. Which one's going?
Okay.
I'm trying to get the
So
right.
I wonder how long Jen's
Okay, Bare
Jen's
Bones.
is. Okay, we'll see. And then I'll be at Bare Bones. Bye.
Okay. Bye, everybody. I'm gonna try to get those links up. Bare Bones. All right, here we go. Bare Bones Living. Y'all follow them along. Bare Bones Living's going live, and so is well, this is not the right one. So is Jen from Good Times Homestead. So y'all go over there. Bye, everybody.
Bye.